I have a special video this time because I have a special guest at home this week. And I want to introduce her to you. She is Gabi Ochoa from Mexico. Haven't you heard about Gabi Ochoa? How is it possible? Gabi Ochoa is maybe better known as Babi Beautiful Rider. Maybe you have heard about Babi Beautiful Rider because she is everywhere online. Who is this woman? She is a Mexican lady who is traveling around Europe already for 4 months. As far as we can tell, she has broken quite some records because we don't know of any other woman who has traveled, or the Mexican woman who has traveled alone on a motorcycle for so long here in Europe. And Gabi, I know her for quite a while, and she has a tremendous story that I want to share with the world. And I twisted her arm, and she kindly said yes. So here's Gabi. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for the invitation for being here.
So Gabi, you are traveling alone for so many months, and I really want you to take us back to where it all started, because you started without the dream. What was the beginning? When was the dream born and what happened?
Well, since many years ago, I wanted to travel around Europe because I was always intrigued about all the mix of the cultures and the languages in this small part of the world. And then I didn't know how to do it. I traveled to Europe a few times on vacations, only for 1 week or 2 weeks, but it was never enough. So a few years ago I started with savings, but actually like 2 or 2.5 years ago I traveled with a friend from the States on his motorcycle in Central America, and I fell in love with the motorcycle. So I started learning how to ride a motorcycle, but actually before that I had to learn how to ride a bicycle because I didn't know how to do it. And I started reading blogs about people traveling on motorcycles, and I said myself like, why not? Maybe if I want to travel around Europe, I could do it on a motorcycle. So I took the decision like actually 2 years ago, more or less, to quit my job. So I started doing more savings and to plan my exit from this huge company which I used to work with. And then I started planning everything. I started to get all my gear, my helmet, my motorcycle suit, the jacket, waterproof, to get the GPS, trying to figure out how to get a motorcycle, and also trying to ride more in Mexico because my experience was not a long experience riding a motorcycle. So at the end everything started working out, and I started traveling on the motorcycle. The official date was April 22nd from 2016.
How did you come up with that dream of riding a motorcycle? Were you inspired by somebody?
Not for a special person, but when I traveled through Guatemala and Costa Rica with this friend, it was only for 2 weeks. I felt this kind of fascination because in Costa Rica we traveled through the jungle, and the next day we were on a beach, or another day we were around a volcano. So it was fascinating because it's an easy way, let's say, to travel. So I felt like this kind of excitement, like doing that. So for that reason I started looking for some other people that used to do that. So I said like there is a different community, like a different fascinating world with the travelers on motorcycle.
You saw that world for the first time.
Yeah.
It's such a contrast because you had a corporate job. She was working in a huge company.
Yeah.
And a very flashy job, very sophisticated company, international company. And you quit. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Some people just don't leave because they have a mortgage, they have a car. how did you manage to let go of this financial cage? How did you manage that?
Well, first of all, you have to get this kind of agreement with yourself, and you have to be confident that you want to do it. So with that, you start planning, and you have to have this kind of discipline. You know, I didn't change. I have my car, but I didn't change for a biggest or a better car. I used to stop going out, or going to concerts, or traveling a lot, or going out for a beer or for a coffee. So you have to have this kind of discipline and try to save everything because you want to accomplish this dream. So I started trying to plan, okay, if I don't go to this concert, maybe I can get this kind of accommodation for 2 or 3 nights in a hostel or something like that. And actually, I used to be a marketing manager for Hewlett Packard for a division in Mexico. So it was kind of a good job with a good salary. So it was a perk because it allowed me to get a good savings. So I started doing that. And also I was conscious that my life was going to change. But at the end, I wanted to do that because I wanted to do something different than the former job that I had. I wanted to use my creativity in some other stuff, or really to have these ideas outside of the box. So why not doing with my own life and creating that? So in parallel with my job, I created my blog, the Babi Beautiful Rider, because I wanted to experiment with digital marketing, because my background was in marketing and communications and demand generations. So why not to expand to other areas of marketing? So I started doing this in parallel, and to have this discipline with all the financial points that I had to accomplish.
Yeah, that's another hang-up that people have. Not just leaving the company because of the money, but leaving the company because of the CV. In reality, you're taking care of your CV because you are doing marketing for your blog, you are learning a lot of finance, apply for your own money, you're very entrepreneurial. And the part that fascinates me, there are many things that fascinate me about your story, is this minimalism. That you started learning minimalism years before you started your journey, and how you live minimalism today. Maybe you want to tell the people from where you were to where you are now, how many bags you have, how many shoes you have, because she's a lady, of course, and how can you live on the road for so long, and how can you live a minimal life the way you are experiencing right now?
Yeah, it was not so easy, because for some part, when you are working in a company, you have these ideas that, I have to dress with different clothes every day, or to wear different shoes, or to have different bags. But in that case, you have to use your imagination, or to be so creative. So maybe you have only these clothes, but you mix with some jewelry, or with some scarf, or something like that. And also I had this dream that I wanted to do it, so I didn't care to use the same bag for the last 3 years, so who cares, honestly. And well, I don't know, I was conscious that I had to sell most of my valuable stuff, like my car, for example, or I was riding a really cheap motorcycle in Mexico, because I didn't want to spend a lot of money in a huge motorcycle, because it would mean to pay a lot of money every month, or only in one payment. So I changed that, and well, at the end I have a motorcycle and I can practice with this one, so why not? And also you have to realize that if you are going to travel on a motorcycle, your life will change. First of all, because you cannot carry a lot of stuff. So I only carry for shoes my motorcycle boots, a pair of flip-flops, and my sneakers, my Converse, and that's all. So I cannot wear some other clothes. And at some point, now that I used to camp, which is also a different world, so excitement because you live with your own little house, which is your tent, waterproof tent, so important. You realize that you spend a lot of time packing and how to pack and how to be organized, because when you are going to ride every day, you have to accomplish some kind of schedule. You cannot leave like at 1 p.m. because it's too late. So there are so many things that change in your life, like this kind of discipline or this new stuff that you're carrying, because if you're going to travel for several months, you have to plan everything very, very well. And well, yeah, there are like so many things. And also you are improving your skills, not only personal, which also it changed or complement a lot, also the professional skills, because I used to attend a couple of events in England and I like to meet people. So you are working with, you're trying to create a new networking. It's your own public relationships that you are working with, because you are in some point your own product, so or your own brand. So you have to let people know who you are, or that you are representing a country, because in these events I was the only person from Mexico, and you have to continue developing these relationships at some point, and to use all your creativity and all your financial planning, your forecast, even how much you are going to pay for accommodation or for petrol or for your meal, for example. So you have to try to balance, because at some point maybe a couple of nights you are camping in the middle of the forest and there is a storm or 6 hours of not stop raining, and you have to have some kind of emergency budget, because after that, because that really happened to me, after that I had to spend 2 nights in a small hostel. I didn't want to spend money, but it was a nightmare to be in the middle of a storm. So you have to try to balance that.
I want to, the time is limited, so I really, I want to start closing with some words from you to inspire people to make their dreams come true.
And actually, in the past, I didn't believe in that. But that's true. It sounds, and it is magical, that if you really want to achieve something, like to learn how to play the piano, or to travel, or to have an adventure even for 1 weekend, or to learn a different language or a different skill, you really can do it. If you put it as your goal, maybe you want to take the path number 1, but you will have to take the path number 2 or 3 to achieve this goal. But at the end you will achieve it. If you really want to do it, all your mind or all your energy will go to that path to achieve that dream. So you really can do it. So I would like to tell more people that it's possible, and also if you want to change your personal life or your professional life, you can do it, because at the end we always want to use our creativity doing something else. And sometimes it was something that happened to me, that I liked my job, but I wasn't really happy because I wanted to do something else, and now that's something that I am doing. So it is real possible. So if you want to do it, go for it. Honestly, it's an amazing experience.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation. I certainly did. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and share it. Share it with your friends. We need more people actually achieving their dreams. And please come on over to my blog to share with us, what is your dream? What is that thing that you are still not doing? But hey, you are going to start preparing, getting ready to do it in the future. What is that? Share it with us in my blog. And as always, I say goodbye to you, reminding you to be all in.